Alright guys, this is going to be my first ever YouTube video that I'm going to be uploading, giving a market analysis breakdown for NQ. I took a demo trade today. Why? Because it wasn't my model and it's not what I like to see. First and foremost, I am a full-time college student and I'm learning how to trade. I've been trading for a little bit over a year now, live trading for maybe like 11 months. The past 2 months I've seen some consistency, and that consistency only has came from me using the same exact model, something that repeats, and a lot of factors that go into it: news, time of day, macros. There's a lot of things that go incorporated into my model, but today I just want to give a raw breakdown of what I saw, why I didn't take an entry, and why I took a demo trade, just to kind of test out the market. I mean, I took a 2022 model entry, which had some confluences to it, pretty easy targets that I thought that we would get to, and it was overall a good day to just be patient and wait for my model, because you always have to look for something that repeats. You always have to have certainty, and if you just take anything that you see, anything that seems like it's good, but you don't have a set foundation of rules, a set foundation of a model, something that's going to repeat every single time, then you're kind of just trading price action. And if you're just trading price action, then you really don't have any type of any security that you know for a fact this is going to happen again. You don't have that security, and without that security, how can you ever scale? How can you ever rely on an income when it comes to trading? So for me, this is something that I'm working on at the moment. It's just having a base foundation and understanding that my model comes out 3 to 4 times a month, and as long as I'm able to win 3 out of those 4 times, get a 2 to 3 RR, I'm able to be a profitable trader. And I'm not the type of trader that wants to trade every single day. I don't want to get an entry every single day. I'm looking to see what days are low probable for my model, so I avoid those, whether it's NFP, whether it's Thursday of NFP, whether it's CPI, whether it's FOMC press conference. There's a lot of days that I do avoid because I know, after journaling and logging so much data, I know and I understand what days work the best for me. I know what days my model is more likely to come out. I know what days I'm more likely to see a reversal. I mean, that's just framing weekly profiles. And these are a lot of things that I want to get into and I want to teach, but this is kind of more like of a just a quick breakdown to show kind of what goes on inside my head as I'm trading. I'm going to show a live recording of me taking my demo entry. I type in my recording and show exactly what I'm thinking when I go break even, where I put my stop losses, how I use my limit orders, what I'm trying to get to. But this is just a quick overview, run through from today. I mean, this is just plain and simple. We have 9:30 opening right here. At 9:30 opening, I'm always looking for a manipulation. That's first and foremost. I'm looking for a manipulation and I'm looking for price to balance itself, right? So as you can see right here, I don't want to make this too complex for those people that are barely learning, but as you can see here, we have clean equal highs right here, right? And for me, I need to have some type of liquidity sweep before I look for an opposing entry, kind of like the 2022 model. You need a market structure shift with the fair value gap in order to find an entry, right? For me, going into today, I wanted to 9:30 to open, and I wanted it to rip higher, take out this buy side. Let me use my tool here. I wanted for us to open at 9:30, come up over here, take out this buy side, and on the way up, I wanted there to be a 5-minute fair value gap formed right here. I want there to be some type of 5-minute fair value gap formed right here. And then I wanted us to come down, I wanted us to sweep this, at least sweep this, come down, inverse this, get a 1-minute unicorn entry right here, and then come and deliver down to these equal lows. For me, that would be the ideal perfect scenario. That would be the only way I would take a trade. Keep in mind, today Powell talked as well in the afternoon. You got to be careful when Powell's talking. Most of the time, you really just want to avoid these days, but well, that's basically what I was seeing, right? To me, what stood out the most, I woke up in the morning, I saw the market. What stood out the most to me was these equal lows. These equal lows to me is like, come on, like it's pretty obvious that these are going to get hit. You know what I'm saying? We already ran it all the way up over here. We went into this daily volume imbalance. When I went into the four, when I went into the, I mean, we gapped down so far. We have these lows here. We have this here, but we're kind of in the middle of everything. You know, like if we were to put a fib on this, we're kind of in the middle of everything. It's kind of hard to have a bias, so you really got to be careful during these days, which is why I can't just take a whatever 2022 model. I need some type of 5-minute confirmation. I need to look for something that's going to really tell me, hey, you know what? This is where we're going. And without that without that liquidity sweep up here of these equal highs, at least, because most of the time I'm looking for a sweep all the way up here for the high of the day, for the London session high. Without this, there's no confidence in me taking any entries. Aside from the fact that I don't even like to take entries when we're below London open. You know, I don't like to take shorts below London open. I'm only looking for longs if we're below, and I'm only looking for shorts if we're above, because that's premium and discount. That's basic ICT core content month one. You know what I'm saying? So getting into that, that's exactly what I was looking for. I was looking for a move like this. Obviously, we didn't get it, but this is where I'm gonna pull up my recording, and I kind of want to show you guys kind of what I was thinking, and so you guys can see the trade that I took for today. I should have probably cut this, but I can make it big enough to where it's the only thing that shows. Okay. Okay, so this is going into the day, right? Gonna speed this up a little bit, but as you can see right here, we're going into the day. Nothing had formed yet. Here I'm typing to myself, expecting a run to these lows. I'm gonna speed this up a little bit just so it could go a little bit faster. I was expecting a run to these lows to begin the day. That's something that it was just too obvious for me not for us not to come into these lows. That's just too obvious, too simple, beginner stuff like equal lows, equal highs. If you guys don't know what that is yet, that's something that, I mean, you must learn. That's where price is always going to go. Why? Because there's stops there, and price needs to go there in order to get more orders, and that's a whole different topic. But continuing with this, you know, here I'm going through time frames, making sure, you know, you have to run through these time frames, seeing if we could have more PD arrays. And here's my narrative for the day. Narrative is us opening higher to the highs, sweep, and then come for the lows. That's exactly what I'm looking for, and I don't, no matter what I see, I don't get away from that plan. If I don't see that, I don't have an entry, and that's just how it is. That's just how it goes. And if you don't have a set plan, if you don't have a set model, it's not going to work out for you. You can't just react to price. You have to expect price to do what you expect it to do. You have to make a story. You have to, you know, it's like just a story. You have to come up with things that are going to occur, come up with things that are going to happen. You can't just expect for something to, you know, this pops up, oh, this is a good entry. No, what are you anticipating to happen? And then you start going into, you have to have a model already. You have to know that whenever I see this is my trigger point. It can't be based off of reaction. So narrative is us opening higher, sweep out these highs. We are just too close to them that I don't know if we can come for these highs and then come for the lows. It's just at a point where we're right in the middle. We're just really balanced. So as you can see here, this is the opening range gap. For those of you that don't know about it, you can search up a video. I'll make a video on this later, but this is an opening range gap, something that ICT teaches in its 2024 mentorship. Amazing draw on liquidity. The midpoint gets hit 70% of the time whenever the opening range gap is a certain amount of size. Okay, so right here I outline this opening range gap. I mark it out as my draw on liquidity. Again, and I don't like to take shorts whenever opening range midpoint is at the top. I don't like to take shorts. Let me fast forward a little bit. As you can see here, we're just driving up just as I expected. You know, we're driving up. We have a 15-minute fair value gap right here that we're gonna tap into, and we just start wicking it. And at this point, I'm just being patient. 930 is manipulating up. That's exactly what we want to see. But is it gonna come and take out these highs? That's gonna be the make or break for me to get into an entry like this. So here I put my fib just to make sure that we're rebalancing price. I'm always looking for price to rebalance itself. Here we go. Price rebalanced up to 50-minute premium fair value gap. Right here, we have a rebalance right here. Waiting for that first presented fair value gap, whether it was on the 1 minute or on the 5 minute. I'm just waiting for that first presented to come out. Fast forward a little bit. Lots of equal highs up here remaining neutral till we take out this pool of liquidity. I'm not looking to take anything unless we take out this pool of liquidity, right? Clapping to myself, I already outlined my narrative and what I want to see to take an entry. If this doesn't appear, I'm okay with sitting the day. Better safe than sorry with power news in the afternoon. Remaining patient and disciplined, sticking to my 5-minute inverse rally gap plus sweep. Okay, so this is where, you know, you kind of start to realize, you know what, maybe it's not going to come out, the model, right? Maybe it's not going to come out. I mean, sometimes it's okay to just demo things, to just try things out, to just check if things work differently. So, as you can see right here, this was a 15-minute premium fair value gap, right? This was a 15-minute premium fair value gap. And let me go back into, I'll show you guys that right now. So, this was a 15-minute premium fair value gap that we're looking at right here. And for me, once we rebalanced this, I knew we kind of weren't going to go higher anymore. As you can see, we just wicked it. Our bodies are telling the whole story. We don't even want to come up here. All we're doing is wicking. So once that happens, I dive into the 5-minute and I start seeing this right here, right? These wicks. And again, I have these equal lows in my mind the whole time. This is where my draw is. This is what I'm going for the whole time. So I'm seeing this. Once I dive into the 5-minute for ES, what do I see? We see a 5-minute inverse fair value gap right here. Remember to always add the volume imbalance. We see a 5-minute inverse fair value gap right here, right? I'm going to go ahead and replay this a little bit. I will be showing you guys the recording. That way you guys can see that I actually took this entry and it's just not that it was actually live and I didn't just demo this. You can see right here. What do we have right here? For those of you guys that are beginners, what do we have right here? Swing low, right? What's a swing low? Right here, right here. That's a swing low. And what is this? Market structure shift. Right? Basic ICT concepts. Market structure shift right here. What is this? 2022 model. We respect the premium array. We come up here, displace lower. What do we create right here? A fair value gap. Mark this out. And guess what? If you look closely, if you go through all these fair value, too tiny, price was already rebalancing here. This is not really a good fair value gap to use. Right here, too tiny of a fair value gap. Whenever you get your first percent of fair value gap, ICT just made a video on this. You really want to get something that's actually running, something that's a true imbalance in price, right? So here we have the first fair value gap after 930. And what do we get here? Fair value gap formed. All we're waiting at this point is a retrace back up here, right? If you go into, if you pay close attention and if you're already a little bit more advanced in terms of ICT, you know that this is also a breaker block. You know this is also a breaker block. What do you not want to see? You don't, according to ICT, you don't want to see breakers, the 50 of breakers get disrespected. So to me, I never wanted to see this get disrespected. To me, this is a breaker block and I never wanted to see it get disrespected. If you go a little bit into higher time frames, we have an order block right here. Once we close below this becomes an order block, and look at where we tap into. Right into the wick of it. Right into the wick of that order block. So for me, this is a unicorn model entry. Okay, so going back to the recording. I'm going to speed it up a little bit towards the entry and just break that down. What's that? 1.5. Okay, I've already set my limit order here. At this time, I'm just being patient. We see prices already running, but again, once you have an entry technique, you have an entry technique. You can't just chase price or switch entry techniques. If you're going to enter off a fair value gap, you're going to enter off a fair value gap. You're not going to enter off a CISD. So you have to remain with that same narrative that, excuse me, not the same narrative, but if you have an entry technique model, you have to continue to use it. You have to continue to use it. As you can see right here, I put my tape read this and demo this 2022 model to see if we inverse here. We inverse a 2-minute on NQ, and for me, that's all I needed to see. Unicorn right here, order block, breaker. We We had that 2-minute order block. This is a 2-minute order block. We had a 5-minute inverse here on ES, and for me, these lows were just way too easy. So I put a limit order. I demoed this trade to see what would happen. I got filled. As you can see here, we're dancing around in here. We're dancing around, and we kind of have like a hard spike. And these are the things that you won't see if you're backtest. I mean, if you're only backtesting, if you're not trading the live markets, these are the type of things that you won't see, the way that these candles are actually forming. And that's something that to me I think is huge, because look at the way that these candles are forming. I mean, and this is also a little bit faster, a little bit slower, I mean, but these candles are forming, and you're seeing at some point you see candles that are full that you're not gonna see them full if you're backtesting. They kind of come out like chunky. So you see right here, I get filled right here. And at this point, we have our stop loss right above here, right about this. Just how ICT teaches this 2022 model. We have this breaker right here, and at the 50, we have this. If we get past that, that's it. Trade's invalidated. It's more of a chance that we get stopped, that keeps running up and it keeps going down. And for me, always want to use a stop loss. Okay, you see at this point, it's like, okay, am I gonna get stopped out? I'm really close to get stopped out, but you have to stick to your trade. You have to stick to your stop loss. And at this point, your stop loss hasn't told you, I need to get out of this entry. Let's see right here, we just wick. Speed this up a little bit. Don't want to make this too boring. And look at this reaction that we get here. We just start ripping price lower. And at this point, you got to start thinking to yourself, okay, where am I going to go break even? My TP's already set on those equal lows. My stop loss, it's already where it needs to be. Before I even enter the trade, I have to know where my stop loss is going to be. So this is also in the 950 to 1010 macro. And right here, we're going to get another CISD as soon as we close below this. And for me, ideally, I'd like to see a swing low like this get taken before I want to go to break even. And not just get taken in terms of wicking it. I want to see a displacement, and I want to see a close below this. So as you can see right here, no entry on funded accounts, but demo to see how we run to the lows. At this point, this is where I want to go break even. Break even if we close below. Right here, this is a tiny rebalancing. This is something that ICT teaches in his 2024 mentorship. Price should act like a wall around this area, so price really should not come back up. Like, there's nothing more that needs to come up there for it. It's already balanced perfectly. As you can see, we have these overlapping each other. At this point, I'm trailing to this rebalanced area. At this point, I'm just waiting for the lows to get taken. I mean, I'm already at a 3 RR for the entry. I was risking 400. And at some point, I just lock in my 2 RR because I'm always aiming for a 2 RR minimum. Right here, I'm going to lock in those $800. Give me that 2 RR. Somewhere here, I throw a little bit lower up to this. We have a little daily volume. A little volume imbalance here. I don't expect this to come up here anymore. Lock in my 2 RR. Wait for target to get hit down here. I ended up trailing on this entry. I know I'm up like almost 4 RR. I mean, that's something that I'm gonna take off the table, but I'm just kind of trying to look for something crazy. I mean, I'm taking a demo entry, and not to say that, oh, you shouldn't care, but I mean, I'm just trailing, locking in my 2 RR, see if I can get my runner all the way down. But at some point, I was like, I think I need a throw already. These are the lows that I want to see get taken. Whether they get taken on ES or on NQ first, that's when I'm going to get out. I ended up just trading a little bit lower. I trailed above this high. I didn't want to see it get taken again. Ends up getting taken. Solid entry for the 4 RR, which I had, and I would have taken. What did price do, though? Came all the way down. It didn't necessarily take out this low, but it did take out this low. And this is where we got to be careful, because sometimes we have things like this occur, and it's happened to me before where I end up not taking my TP because ES takes it and NQ doesn't. So you really got to be careful when we get like an SMT like this. But overall, that's kind of the breakdown for today. You see NQ took it. that's kind of what would be the breakdown for the day today. We didn't come down all the way to these lows, but again, equal lows right here. We took down the equal lows. I mean, you want to have your TP at the lowest hanging fruit. That was kind of the breakdown for me today. Again, this is my first video. I know it's not going to be the best video. I know it's not going to be the best breakdown. I'm going to try to make more of a structure going into more videos. And I don't know about the recording part. I'm going to see what I do once I get a little bit more feedback. I know I probably won't get no feedback on this video. Like I said, it's one of my first videos that I upload. And moving forward, I'm just going to do more breakdowns, do a little bit of tutorials, try to simplify things a little bit more, and just make it easier for people to learn. And just to show you guys that I'm a beginner day trader too. I'm barely learning how to do these things, and I'm just trying to incorporate good habits. I'm trying to become a better trader. I'm trying to get the best psychology that I can. And to me, I just want to document this journey in order to show you guys that it is possible, and just a lot of hard work and perseverance. Again, I am a full-time college student, and I do have work I got to do. I do have things that I got to get done, but kind of just wake up in the morning, do this. I did my studying about a year ago where I would study. I watched the 2024 mentorship. I watched the 2022 mentorship. So I'm kind of just trying to show people the journey. I know a lot of people don't, not that they don't, but I mean, you see these people saying that they make all these millions of dollars off of trading, and in reality, they don't. I mean, I'm just keeping it real. I know how difficult it is. I know that sometimes, I mean, as a college student, you don't really even have the money to be blowing on funded accounts either. You have to be really safe. You have to have risk management. You have to learn slowly. Like, you got to take this slow. You can't approach this with, I need to get paid now. I need to get paid now. I went 10 months on a funded account, and I got past step 1. And then this last week, I blew a funded account. The first time ever after 10 months of trading. Like, why? Because I was so patient at the beginning, and then I got impatient. I ended up blowing an account on the most volatile week that we've seen in I don't know how long. I mean, those are things that you have to just learn from. And close to passing one of my funded accounts. It's actually a Forex account, and it takes 13% to pass. There's 2 steps on it. I got past the 8% step after I was in drawdown on the account. I got a 6 and a 4% month. So I got past the first step. I'm currently working on the second step, and once I do, I will make a video on that as well. But other than that, that was the breakdown for today. My model didn't present itself. I outlined my narrative for the day, and it just didn't occur the way that it did. I like this entry, and I thought that, you know what, let me just take this entry and see where it goes. Good experience, good practice to know how to manage trades. I mean, I could have held for this TP instead of getting stopped out like at a 2-point-ish RR. Yeah, I mean, overall, good day to be patient, good day to grow more discipline. And tomorrow I'm going to be uploading another video on what I see for the day. Obviously, Friday there's no trading because of Good Friday, and that'll be it for this video. And I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm going to be just giving you guys real breakdowns from somebody who has not yet gotten any payouts. Blown 1 funded account across 10 months. I've had 3, blown 1. I still have 2, working on 2 at the moment. But yeah, I mean, I can make a video on my model sometime soon. And other than that, that'll be it for this video. If anybody wants to know a little bit more further in details or anything, just comment below what you would like to see. And if you want an explanation on something, I can just explain it in the comments. And thank you guys for watching.